Tante volte do la sedia anche a un morto, perché non distingo se è vivo o è morto, distingo solo le anime del paradiso, che sono sollevate dalla terra. L'altro invece no, il piglio per vivi, infatti quante volte ci do la sedia.
For 7 hours, Natuzza Evolo remained motionless, her eyes closed and her body rigid, while several doctors tried in vain to revive her. When she woke up, she said she had been before Jesus and had seen something capable of revealing what fate awaits the soul after death. That experience took place on July 26, 1940, when Natuzza was nearly 16 years old, and it was only the beginning of what she would go on to recount about the afterlife. In the years that followed, the Calabrian mystic claimed to have encountered thousands of the deceased, to have recognized the souls of paradise and purgatory, and to have seen the guardian angels of the people who came to Paravati.
Tante volte capita che venne per esempio un fratello, aveva un fratello morto o il padre e mi dice tante cose per suggerire al figlio, no?
Among her revelations, one is particularly striking. According to Natuzza, at the moment of death, the soul does not face the passage into eternity alone, because its guardian angel leads it before God and remains at its side even through purgatory. The creature that has silently accompanied us since birth, then, would also be present at the most mysterious moment of our existence. Natuzza said that, at the moment of death, the soul discovers a truth it can barely imagine during life. Beside it, in that decisive moment, stands a creature that knows every one of its battles, every fall, and every attempt to rise again. What did Natuzza really see during those 7 hours, and what happens, according to her revelations, in the first moments after death? In a few days, the anniversary of that event will come around again. What Natuzza called the Day of the Promise and the most beautiful day of my life. Her account contains details capable of changing the way we look at death, prayer, and the presence of our guardian angel. According to testimonies gathered by the foundation dedicated to Natuzza, Our Lady had told her that on July 26th, she would experience an apparent death. Natuzza was illiterate and did not know the meaning of the word apparent, so she understood that on that very day she would die and would finally reach Jesus. Word spread quickly, and the home of the Coloca family where she worked filled with people. Curious onlookers, journalists, and several doctors arrived, all waiting to see whether that very young girl would really die on the day she had announced. Around 7:30 in the evening, Natuzza suddenly felt an irresistible drowsiness. She closed her eyes, her body stiffened, and she stopped responding altogether. Accounts of the time say the doctors tried to revive her, even administering cardiac stimulants while the hours passed and the worry grew. Only in the early hours of the following morning, after about 7 hours, did Natuzza open her eyes again. For the people gathered in the room, it had been a long and inexplicable state of catalepsy. For Natuzza, those 7 hours had passed in another place. She said she found herself in paradise, immersed in a wonderful light and in the presence of Jesus. She saw the Lord speaking and a multitude of souls praying before him. Some were arranged in 4 or 5 long rows, kneeling with their faces turned to the ground. Others appeared lifted off the ground and wrapped in a light so intense that they seemed immersed in the very glory of God. This description holds a surprising detail, because Natuzza said she could recognize the spiritual condition of souls, even from the way they appeared before her. Purified souls close to God were surrounded by light, while those still in need of purification appeared in a different state. In her later encounters, Natuzza would learn to distinguish the souls of paradise from those of purgatory, and according to testimonies, even from those who had definitively rejected God. There, Jesus entrusted her with a mission expressed in words that Natuzza would carry with her for the rest of her life, to bring souls to him, to love and to have compassion, to love and to suffer. Behind this phrase lies the full magnitude of Natuzza's mission. Jesus, according to her account, showed her eternity and then sent her back into the world so that she could help other souls reach it. From that moment on, the separation between earth and the afterlife seemed to become, for her, wafer thin.
Loro dicono che il Purgatorio lo fanno sulla terra, dove hanno vissuto, dove hanno commesso peccati.
Natuzza said she saw the deceased with a human appearance, dressed as they had been in life, able to speak and to smile. At times, they appeared so naturally that she struggled to tell them apart from the living. Souls arrived spontaneously, always with God's permission. Natuzza explained that she never summoned them and never practiced any form of evocation, which is strictly condemned by the Catholic faith. It was the deceased who came forward, often to ask for prayers or to pass on a message to their families. Many times they revealed details that Natuzza, humanly speaking, could not have known. They described circumstances of their lives, uttered unfamiliar names, and recalled episodes kept only in the memory of relatives. Yet the message they repeated most often had nothing to do with earthly secrets. They asked for prayers, works of charity, and above all, the celebration of Holy Mass. According to Natuzza, after death, every soul is accompanied by its own guardian angel into the presence of God, where its entire existence is illuminated by the truth. Every choice, every act of love, every wound inflicted on others, and every missed opportunity for good would appear with absolute clarity. Before God, the soul would recognize the truth of its own life and fully understand the consequences of its actions. This account aligns with Catholic teaching on the particular judgment, according to which every person, immediately after death, receives their eternal reward in relation to the faith and works accomplished through the grace of Christ. Among the messages Natuzza attributed to the angelic world, one concerned that very last moment. There is nothing more beautiful on this earth than loving God with all your heart. And at the point of death, the greatest regret is not having been holy. Minute by minute, do everything out of love. Natuzza said she saw guardian angels as beautiful children of about 8 or 10 years old, their feet slightly lifted off the ground and their bodies immersed in a powerful light. She saw them beside the people who came to her and would watch their lips move. When a visitor asked her a question, Natuzza would look at the angel and repeat the answer she said she received from him. She once explained, "I am nothing. I'm just a poor woman who repeats what the angel says. If he speaks, I report it. If he stays silent, I can't say anything." The angels appeared to the right of lay people and to the left of priests. Natuzza explained this detail by saying that the angel left the place of honor to the priest, recognizing him as a minister of Jesus Christ. One day, while a priest was publicly mocking her ability to see angels, Natuzza left the room and rebuked him with a phrase in Latin. The priest was deeply shaken because that illiterate girl had spoken in a language she had never studied. Natuzza explained simply that those words had been suggested to her by the angel.
Tante volte capita che viene un sacerdote in borghese, io capisco che è un sacerdote vedendo l'angelo alla sinistra. Infatti quante volte vado a baciare la mano, dice perché, come avete capito? E dico vedo l'angelo alla vostra sinistra.
Still, the most striking revelations concerned the souls that came asking for help. According to witness accounts, Natuzza once met a deceased person who told her he was among the flames of Purgatory. Before her, however, that soul appeared calm, with no visible sign of suffering. Natuzza asked him how he could be among the flames, since before her eyes he seemed perfectly at peace. The deceased replied that he carried the flames of Purgatory within himself and that they followed him wherever he went. In that instant, Natuzza saw him wrapped in fire. Believing it to be an illusion, she moved closer and felt a heat so intense that it burned her mouth and throat. For about 40 days, she would have trouble eating and would need treatment from a doctor in Paravati. This episode expressed one of Natuzza's deepest convictions, that purgatory is, first and foremost, a state of the soul, a painful purification fueled by the desire to reach God. The souls that appeared to Natuzza suffered above all from being far from the Lord. They had by then understood the infinite beauty of God and longed to reach Him, while their purification still kept them from entering fully into His light. This is why the souls asked above all for Holy Mass, prayers, and works of charity offered in suffrage. Natuzza reminded us in this way that death interrupts physical presence, while the communion of saints allows us to keep loving our departed by entrusting them to the mercy of Christ. Natuzza said that many souls came to her precisely to reassure their families. They communicated that they were still alive, asked their loved ones to let go of despair, and invited them to rediscover their faith. Other souls asked to make right an injustice left behind on earth, to give back something they had taken, or to forgive someone. The light of God had shown them the spiritual weight of actions that, during life, may have seemed insignificant. Here we find another truth capable of shaking us. Before God, we will also see the good we could have done and put off, the words that could have saved someone from despair, and the forgiveness we refused to grant. On July 26th, remembering her day of the promise, we might ask our own hearts a question. If the time God entrusted to us were to end tonight, what love would we regret not having given? If you too wish to entrust yourselves to Jesus and ask Him to watch over the people you love, write this prayer in the comments. Jesus, in the hour of death, entrust us to our guardian angel and lead us, together with our loved ones, into the light of your kingdom. May God bless us all.